Yo, welcome to Hard Pass. I am your host, Jacques Slade. Today on the show, we've got some good old-fashioned sneaker backdoor drama, the latest on Kyrie Irving, the week's hottest releases, and of course, our Hard Pass. All right, you know how we do this. Let's start the show with some hot takes. Giannis Antetokounmpo has no respect for his teammates' shoe deals, as evidenced by him and his brother Thanasis trying to get longtime Adidas guy Serge Ibaka to take off his T-Max in exchange for his Zoom freaks. Haven't we learned anything from Scarfgate that Serge is not the one to be bothered when it comes to anything fashion related?
I'm done. I'm done.
I put you on scarves.
You know what we done here today, OG?
But did I put you on scarves?
You say you put me in the fashion, then we done today.
What about scarves? But what about scarves?
What about T-Max, Giannis? What about T-Max? Congrats to NASCAR for making it to Hard Pass for the second time this year, surpassing hockey's grand total of, one since we started the show. Wow. Hockey and pickleball are now tied. Interesting. Anyways, it's all because of Ross Chastain's knowledge of the situation at hand. 10th place in the last lap and needed to get to 5th to qualify for the championships and used NASCAR 2005 on the GameCube mechanics so that he was able to pull off a wild finish. Not gonna lie, that was very cool, and co-writer popped when Chastain said GameCube. It's like saying 2003 Mariah Carey for him. On the latest episode of Full Size Run, check out my episode from a few years back, the crew talks with DJ Ski about Nike gearing up for a foam-positive renaissance. I don't know about that. Like, the crew mentioned the stink of the Weathermans and thermal maps, aka venereal diseases, are still fresh to those of us who were around for that era, but maybe stick to solid colorways and they might have a chance. Who knows? All it takes is one popular TikTok or a picture of dirty white foams like dirty white Air Force Ones to make it happen again, I guess. The boss, Rick Ross, was on AEW this week acting as peacemaker between tag team partners Swerve Strickland. Resale fit in perfectly like he's been doing this his whole life, and he even gave us maybe an instantly iconic meme.
Accusations. These are not accusations. This is false accusations. And
feel like that's gonna get a lot of play on this show in the future. Look, between Ross,
you still suck. You still suck. You still suck.
AEW and WWE regular West Side Gun, Action Bronson, Trina, and Snoop Frog Splash, we're that much closer to the real-life Def Jam vendetta. If Tony Khan can actually book something good in 2022, it needs to be getting all of these artists in the AEW video game. The Air Jordan 1 Lost and Found is being backdoored. Also, The Sky is Colored Blue and Star Destroyer, my 17-time world champion Los Angeles Lakers, are losers. In-N-Out fries are only good for maybe 2 minutes, and Twitter is a hellhole that we have to pay for now. In other words, tell me something that I don't know. Recently, a picture inside a Fight Club New York has circulated showing kids handing off multiple pairs of the Lost and Found ones to the reseller giant. Under normal circumstances, this shouldn't come as a surprise. Resellers, influencers, and people with connections get early pairs through various means all the time, and one way to unload them and to get paid is through Flight Club or similar stores. But what is getting people heated in this particular instance is the fact that the kids appear to have gotten multiple pairs directly from a sneaker boutique or a big box retailer. The tale, according to the Complex Sneaker Podcast, are the boxes that the sneakers came in. The brown boxes with the label that states where they came from and their country of origin. In this case, the country of origin is from China and they came in through Woonsocket, Rhode Island. Shout out to the good folks of Woonsocket, home of Alan Doyle, 11-time winner on the PGA Champions Tour, and somebody who I totally didn't have to search for in the notable section of Wikipedia. Anyway, shout out to Rhode Island in general. Co-writer's retirement plan B includes buying the Jollibee franchise and opening up the first one in a Rhode Island location, specifically in Newport, right next to the World Tennis Hall of Fame, which is a very specific in-joke, co-writer. Why would you put that in a teleprompter? Anyways, it doesn't seem like it's the backdooring per se that people are upset with. Looking at the comments to the Complex Sneakers post, the vibe can be summed up with one word: duh. Of course there was going to be an instance of the Jordan 1 Lost and Found being backdoored. It would be even more shocking if it didn't happen. My guess is that what got people annoyed was the lack of subtlety by the sellers. I mean, they didn't even bother to change out the boxes and just use the same ones that they were given. It's totally possible they didn't even bother to take out the other label, so if someone snuck a peek, they could tell what store specifically was their hookup. I'm not gonna lie, it'd be pretty funny if the boxes were addressed to M. Jordan or T. Room. And it's not like Flight Club is under any moral authority to decline the shoes. When a hot pair of shoes is about to release, they probably get more than a handful of the same kids popping up to drop off their supply, when they then sell them on store or online. Buy, sell, profit, repeat. Why ask questions if the same system is working for them? Now, the other reason this has sneakerheads heated is because this is the latest example of backdooring, and it's coming fresh off the news that Nike is going to combat the reselling problem. It was mostly on the online end, but they have been sending out warnings to partners who mess around with backdooring shenanigans. According to a list by Sneaker Freaker, some of the retailers who have been penalized by Nike include Zappos, Dillard's, Boscov, Bob's Stores, and City Blue. Wonder if Nike is even investigating the alleged tea room controversy, or if that whole situation is like a Vito Corleone style favor for Big M Jordan to look the other way at whatever little M Jordan is cooking. Looks like this story is really far from over. Anyway, let's move on to the Heat Check, where we bring you everything that's dropping this week. We have the Kids Spider-Man Adidas Don issue number 4. This is going to be 4 colorways on the 8th for $85 each. The Fruity Pebbles Nike Dunk Low on the 8th for $120. The Reebok Kurikaze 2 Seattle colorway on the 10th for $120. The Women's Air Jordan 11 Midnight Navy on the 11th for $225. The Adidas Crazy 1, aka the Kobe, and the Lakers Home colorway on the 11th for $140. Eastside Golf's Air Jordan 12, that'll be on the 12th for $200. Their Jordan 1 Low is on the 12th for $130. The Huff Nike Dunk Low San Francisco and New York are on the 12th for $130 each. Then, for our pick of the week is Zion Williamson's Air Jordan 1 Low Voodoo on the 8th for $170. Honestly, we'd give it to the Fire and Ice Pack he debuted in Los Angeles if we could, but we'll settle for this, and it's not that bad, man. It's just that it's just another pair of ones. But if we're going to keep going back to the Air Jordan 1, we need to be more creative with the interpretations like this one. It just can't be the same Chicago ones all the time. I'm so pleased that this is getting an actual release because maybe this is a sign that Jordan Brand will work with their top stars like Zion and Luka and Tatum to release ones that connect to their interest and the city they play for. Less rehashes of OG colorways and more PEs that drop at retail. And now, Kyrie Irving. Like Kanye West last week, we really wrestled with the idea of doing a whole show dedicated to Kyrie because there was a chance Nike might let him go. That might sound harsh to a lot of stands, but unlike Kanye, Kyrie was on the last year of his deal, and from the looks of things, both sides are kind of checked out after the drama last summer over the shoe that would be called the Kyrie Infinity. If Nike wasn't interested in promoting a new Kyrie signature shoe, they sure ain't doing it now. I mean, we even predicted a few weeks ago that Irving was going to start his own sneaker brand by season's end. But instead, what Nike did, as of this recording, was drop a statement saying, "At Nike, we believe there is no place for hate speech and we condemn any form of anti-Semitism." They've cut athletes whose actions and values don't align with theirs quicker, and they've celebrated others who stood for something they believe in faster. Or, as a cynic would look at it, celebrate those whose values align with their most loyal customers because, you know, capitalism, y'all. But maybe the reason why Nike, the NBA, the Brooklyn Nets, and probably Kevin Durant were dragging their feet on this one is because nobody knows what Kyrie actually stands for at any given moment. Because Kyrie will say this in a press conference one second,
"I'm in a unique position to have a level of influence on my community,"
and then contradict himself later.
"You guys come in here and make up this powerful influence I have."
Like, you're either a big deal or you're not, Kai. You can't pick and choose when you get to be important, and you can't duck responsibility when someone wants to ask, but why, when you tweet a link to a video that is based on a book that, according to Rolling Stone, denies the Holocaust, believes Jewish people worship Satan, control the media, and cites a fake Hitler quote as proof that black people are the real Jews. I don't care who you are. If your opening, middle, or closing arguments that black people are the real Jewish people includes a Hitler citation, real or not, you're going to be in the wrong. And surprise, Kai, Hitler didn't secretly like us, which is now a thought being shared online more broadly thanks to your platforming of this video. Not sure why anyone would thirst for a Hitler endorsement in 2022 or any point in history, but Twitter is a hellhole, so you find all kinds. Anyway, the scumbag thought we were an inferior race, and when African colonial troops from the French occupation forces after World War I fathered children with German women, he wrote in Mein Kampf that it was a secret plot by Jews and the French to contaminate the white race. That can't be your source, Kai. Just like Alec Jones can't be your source because you believe there's a new world order of secret societies. First of all, the only NWO I recognize does this. Second, racist dumpster fire Hulk Hogan sucks. Look, we don't think Kyrie should be lumped into the same bucket as Kanye. We feel that Kyrie is proud of his Black and Native American roots, and he does have love and respect for people of all religions, beliefs, or lack thereof, which is what being an omniist is about. At the same time, He's a smartass who thinks, don't get mad at me, I'm just asking questions is a personality trait. When he went down the rabbit hole to learn about the real history of our country and our people, he didn't follow scholars and academics with decades of knowledge and experience. He followed the memes and the Facebook clips and Alex Jones. And when he tries to speak his truth at the expense and pain of others and doesn't realize it, well, he lost the thread. As of this recording, the Nets and Irving have released a statement that they will each donate $500,000 to organizations that work to eliminate hate. Irving also said in the statement that he opposes all forms of hatred and oppression and that he takes responsibility for his actions and words. He also adds that he's still learning and is willing to do so with an open mind and heart. The open heart part, all for it. The open mind part, he's lost the benefit of the doubt. He has to prove it over time. And based on his first public comments where he places the blame on the video that he tweeted out, he's got a long way to go. As for Nike keeping Kyrie, well, that ship has seemingly sailed long before this drama. The Kyrie 8 was the end of the road. And with several colorways set to drop soon with zero fanfare, seems to be like Nike already made their choice. And it's a shame. LeBrons and KDs might get more attention, but the Kyries were the real people's choice. They weren't $88 like the KD4s, but they were wearable and affordable enough that kids and hoopers often rocked them as they tried to imitate Kyrie's layup package. It's an ignominious end to a promising signature line that, like the Yeezys, will get branded in a few years without Kai's name. All right, it's time for this week's Hard Pass, where we take a look at something in the culture that just needs to go, like this era of Rocky Maivia in Hollywood. Let me explain. See, before Dwayne Johnson was The Rock, am I doing the eyebrow thing? No. He was lame-ass pro wrestler Rocky Maivia. When Maivia made his debut as a pro wrestler in the mid-90s, he was marketed by the then WWF as a 90s version of racist dumpster fire Hulk Hogan. You know, the say your prayers, eat your vitamins, rah-rah good guy type, and without the racism years down the line. Rocky was going to be the comic book superhero that the company was going to ride into the next millennium. But the fans weren't buying it. Rocky was so bland, boring, and meh that it was almost grand opening, grand closing for him in less than a year. However, a fortuitous character change, shout out to the Nation of Domination, led him down the road to becoming the most dynamic, charismatic, some would say electrifying man in sports entertainment ever. By turning heel, wrestler parlance for bad guy, The Rock would unleash some of the most iconic catchphrases and mannerisms in not just wrestling, but pop culture period. And he needed that part so badly because, let's be honest, Rock wasn't a 5-star wrestler who put on technical clinics. I mean, his version of the sharpshooter was a disservice to Bret Hart and Sting. But the man could tell a story on the mic and was competent enough in the ring to not mess up his bag. And even when he went back to being a good guy and then a bad guy, then a good guy again, The Rock had the aura about him that made everybody from kids to frat boys to grown-ass men and women believe. It's the best trait any wrestler could ever hope to master in their careers. Once you have them believing in you, it doesn't matter how terrible a sharpshooter looks or how cringy some of the jokes can be. The people believe, with the exception of a Texas rattlesnake. The Rock did that better than just about anybody else who ever stepped into a squared circle. So why can't Johnson do that in the movies? See, ever since The Rock became a movie star, he's been stuck in Rocky Maivia mode. Don't get us wrong, he's had The Rock moments for sure. Like, you don't become one of the biggest, if not the biggest movie star in the world by putting out performances where the fans scream, "Die, Rocky, die." He's had movies tailor-made for him, like Hobbs in those Fast and Furious movies, and what was his name in San Andreas? Skyscraper. Look, it's a good thing he starred in a Hercules movie that was literally called Hercules because we'd be lost without that title. Anyways, it's the same OP good guy who never loses formula each time. His movies appeal to everybody, but his performances lack depth and nuance. Wide as an ocean, deep as a pond. Sorry, I thought we were talking about Kyrie for a second there. Anyway, back to Black Adam. The problem with Rock's white whale of a movie and character that he's been chasing for over a decade is that it's more of the same. Like, we weren't really expecting much from anyone who would take on the role because Black Adam's always been a C-list DC villain who is basically Shazam in mirror mode. But man, Rocky does nothing here. He's big, mean, floats a lot, and death stares everybody. For all the hype about this being changing the hierarchy of the power in the DC universe, We'd still pick Superman in a fight after this performance. We'd also pick Wonder Woman to overpower him, Aquaman to outcool him, and, well, Batman to outsmart him. The Justice Society, who we meet for the first time in this movie, are portrayed like veterans we should already know and care about. And you know what? We're in the minority, but we did care more about Hawkman and Dr. Fate's bromance and Atom Smashers and Cyclones being comic relief thirst traps for the TikTok generation. Look, we reserve the right to take this all back if Black Adam ends up doing a rock-style heel turn in a sequel or Justice League mega movie down the line. But right now, this moment, Dwayne needs to figure out if he wants to keep making billions of dollars being a white meat babyface or aim for something more. And yes, we realize the lame-ass Rocky Maivia path is worth billions of dollars, so we are the jerks in this scenario. But man, we know he could be so much better. Like, corporate champion Rock and Hollywood D-bag Rock were the best Rocks, man. Give us the movie equivalent of the Rock concert when he bagged on the Sacramento Kings. And as Laker fans, we'd be overjoyed. All right, that's going to do it for the show. Thank you for watching Hard Pass. I am Jacques Slade. I'll see you next week. If you would like to possibly be featured in a future episode, call us at 818-493-9325. Leave a short message, your social media if you want, no more than 30 seconds. All right, we'll see you next week. Peace.